So, I don't like oatmeal. Oatmeal sucks. At least that's what I've always thought. Because a lot of times it's kind of this white gooey stuff. It's like gruel or something they would serve to orphans. But then she, it turns out, makes oatmeal that makes me think, oh, I like oatmeal. This is Sherilyn Sunflower, a multi-skilled person, and she's multi-skilled in the kitchen. You going to teach us how to make good oatmeal?
Yeah. I think the issue with the oatmeal that you're talking about is people put the oatmeal and the water together and then put it on the stove and boil it. I put the water on the stove, and you can see it's just about to boil here.
Right.
And if I'm going to do raisins, I put the raisins in. Any dried fruit I put in when I put the water on the stove.
So if you were going to put in dried fruits, you would do it now?
I would have already had it in there.
Okay, so there's invisible raisins in this one, in your case.
We've got so much fresh fruit right now that I'm not using raisins.
Okay, because dried fruit has more value. So if you have fresh fruit, use your fresh fruit.
Use your fresh fruit, right.
Okay,
and this was an apple that definitely needs to be eaten, so I'm going to put the apple in.
Slightly old apple. So instead of tossing it to the chickens, we can stick it in there.
Normally I would put it in later, but I want it to get a little water. And then I'm going to add the oatmeal because it's at a soft boil. So you want to put the oatmeal in after the boiling has begun. And then
Okay, wait. So that was 1 cup of oatmeal, and there's 1 apple.
2 cups of water, 1 cup of oatmeal.
Okay, great.
The apple's not going to change the water ratio much at all.
What is that?
This is cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
And you can add whatever spices you want. I like to add it with the oatmeal. I'm gonna grab a.
Could you make a spicy oatmeal? Have you ever done that?
What do you mean, like?
Like add peppers.
Hot if peppers. You wanted to make I know people that have made a savory oatmeal. I personally don't care for savory.
Could I put basil in it?
You could put whatever you want in it.
Okay, I like that kind of recipe.
Sure, why not?
Put in stuff you like, whatever you got.
Now, a lot of Scandinavians like to add salt. That's just a pinch of salt. I sometimes add it and sometimes don't. It's just personal preference. Doesn't change the cooking at all. And then I'm going to cover that and turn it way down.
This stove doesn't have very good temperature control, correct?
It's better than some.
Better than some, okay.
Yeah.
So you're turning it down because why?
It's way better than the casita one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm turning it down because I want it to simmer. I don't want it to boil. It would boil over and it would get messy, and then that happens sometimes.
So you could get used to an individual stove and you could know, okay, I'm going to do that. How long is it going to do this simmering?
Maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Usually I'm cutting up the rest of the fruit.
Right.
And by the time I'm done cutting up the rest of the fruit, it's ready.
So you don't even use a timer. You're just used to it.
Yeah, I'm just used to it. Okay. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take the lid off and stir it 2 or 3 times in that 10 minutes. And when it's at the consistency that I like, then I'm going to turn the heat off.
If we were to have measured how much apple you put in, about how many cups?
It was 1 apple.
I know that, but if it was in a cup, how much is a cut up apple?
It was probably a generous cup of apple.
Okay, so you used almost as much fruit as oatmeal just so far.
So far. And we're each going to have our own banana, and I'm going to cut up a mango. So we're each going to have half of a mango.
Okay, so this is probably the actual reason why I like this oatmeal is because there's less oatmeal and there's more yummy stuff. And I'm not just have this big blob of gooey glue that I'm supposed to eat.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. It's morning fruit.
Well, and when you add the oatmeal to the boiled water, it doesn't get gloopy.
Ah, right.
It stays like the grains stay a little more separate instead of becoming.
The oatmeal is overcooked if you put it in when the water's cold.
Yeah, maybe overcooked. It just turns a completely different
consistency.
Mush.
It's gross.
Yeah.
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 It is.
Okay, so we can probably pause now until it's cooked.
Okay, we'll see you at the next phase here. Okay, it's been what, 10 minutes you said?
Yeah,
more or less, not timed. Approximate 10 minutes.
We could just look at it and then you can.
Okay, let's look at it.
So it's bubbling gently, and it's there's not a lot of excess liquid. I don't think we mentioned before. It's 2 cups of water to 1 cup of oatmeal.
Okay, you did say that.
I did? Okay,
Yep.
great.
And then so far it has slightly the same amount of oatmeal as fruit, but you're about to make it super fruity.
Yeah.
All right. Now you put the apple in first because it's harder and more dense than the mango, right?
Well, so if it was like a super fresh apple, I would add it now. Right?
Yeah.
But it was not it was not the freshest apple. So I added it before so it would get rehydrated a little bit.
Oh, it was a little drier than you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
wasn't a density issue.
No.
A lot of times when I'm cooking, I'm adding the denser vegetables first so those get cooked more, and everything ends up with a similar kind of consistency, unless there's exceptions.
Right. So I'm putting it into bowls, and I'm going to add a couple things. I like toasted sunflower seeds a lot, so I'm adding toasted sunflower seeds.
Her last name is Sunflower, by the way.
You can add whatever kind of nuts you want, but I like the extra protein. There's a little protein in oatmeal, but I like more.
Right.
And
Now,
then-
that could also be a texture thing for some people. I find it a little weird when she's giving me this stuff with sunflower seeds and things in it, like salads as well. But I adjust to it. I think, do I dislike this? I could dislike this, but it tastes good, so I think I'll just like it.
I think I often do toasted peanuts on salads.
Right? And peanuts are cheap as peanuts, so.
Cheap as peanuts. Okay, so
And obviously, if you had a peanut allergy, you might want not to do that.
right,
So you're sticking the banana directly into the bowl.
directly into the bowl.
So everything came out of the pot. Okay, the initial stuff came out of the pot, and then the rest is just kind of dressing or something.
Yeah, so I kind of like my oatmeal like sundaes. I like to layer it, I guess, is part of it. Sometimes I'll do half a banana. Today, I don't know why, I'm doing whole bananas. And then, guess what season it is?
Mangoes! Right now, mangoes are super cheap. Where I live, a bunch of the food comes from in-state, which means it's all pretty darn local. Now, mangoes don't grow exactly where I live unless you were to do very special conditions, but they just don't, basically. But at this time of the year, pickup trucks show up, and they're filled in the back with mangoes. And other times of the year, other things show up in the back of pickup trucks, and that is the cheapest stuff you can buy. It's whatever's in season, and it's just a great place to pig out on really fresh, great foods, and mango season's coming on.
And it's my favorite. I gotta say, it's
so
probably
cute.
it's probably my absolute favorite fruit here. And because I am a person that likes to eat local, while I've been in Mexico, I'm all about eating as many mangoes as I can possibly eat. Definitely. I do also like the papaya. They're very, very different, but they've been available for most of the time that I've been here. Like the food truck that we get, not filled with mangoes, but filled with a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables. They've had papayas the whole time we've been buying from them.
Right, and part of that is because I live in the great state of Michoacan, la alma de Mexico, the soul of Mexico, and so things are ripening at different elevations at different times. We've got tierra fria or something, tierra tibio or something. I think my terms are wrong. They're definitely tierra caliente. That's a very particular region. That's very agricultural. And then the coast is like jungle down there. So we've got 3 to 4 really distinct climate zones, and that allows totally different crops to be at different times. But yeah, some of them, it's just a different time in a different place. It's all nearby anyway. Another real great benefit is here in Michoacan, there is just a plethora of avocados, which has got to be one of the nicest things to eat. And you can just eat all you want.
Always.
Yeah. I mean, we've been getting avocados the entire time you've been here.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're growing right over in a nearby town. And my tree had some for a bit, but I haven't taken real great care of my tree. But I mean, for 20 pesos, now I get a special deal because I'm a friend and buying directly from the producers. But for very cheap, you can get all the avocados you want. You've been making avocado guacamole things are just a big, huge lump.
Like a meal.
Like a pound of avocado.
Yeah. Yeah. Like 6
I mean,
avocados.
guacamole, yeah.
Guacamole. Right. But I mean, the locals wouldn't call it guacamole. I think it's more like an avocado salad, the way that I do
Oh, you
it.
put extra stuff in.
I put extra stuff in it.
We'll do another video.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's good. It's really good. I mean, I just sit there and eat it with a spoon. She gives me slices of jicama to use like chips, but I just get a spoon out and I just shovel it in. And how many do you use when we're both going to have a mound out guacamole? How many avocados?
At least 6
6.
avocados.
So that means I get to eat 3 avocados.
Yeah.
And just pig out on them.
Yeah.
with other stuff in it.
Right.
And so how much do avocados cost in the States, do you think?
You can pay $1 per avocado.
$1 per, so it'd be $3 just of avocados.
Right.
And a restaurant, of course, they're going to charge you for other
It would
things.
be $6 for both of us.
It'd be $6 for
Right.
both of us. And then here there's also different kinds of avocados. So it's not just Haas. What you get in faraway places, Haas ships better because it has a thick skin.
That's a different video. Let's come back to the
Okay,
oatmeal.
okay, sorry,
Yeah.
oatmeal. We're talking about oatmeal. Don't distract me.
We're almost done.
Okay.
So we have layered apples and oatmeal with cinnamon. There's sunflower seeds. There's banana. There's mango. And I'm going to put toasted coconut on top because, like I said, I like it to be like a sundae. And that's it.
Toasted coconut on top. That's some pretty fancy oatmeal. Now, in the total mass of the bowl, you figure that a fairly small percentage at this point is actually oatmeal. And so you're supposed to eat fruit anyway, right? So it's just an excuse to eat fruit in a very easy way and just a little bit of oatmeal. Sounds great. Thanks so much. Anything else you want to add about oatmeal?
It's good for you.
It's good for you. Oh, it's healthy. Well, the fruits, everything's healthy. This is a totally healthy meal. So, adios. Happy oatmeal making. Feel free to comment on any tips you have about how you make oatmeal really awesome. I just realized it's not actually oatmeal. This is a fruit salad with a little bit of oatmeal in it.